Good morning, everyone. And we're 2 or 3 minutes ahead of the CPI. I had planned to do a longer spiel before the before the print. It just took me longer to get stuff written up, and to look at things than typical. If you look on Twitter, I have my plan written out. No paywall, no teasers, whatever. My idea is that on these kind of days, our common welfare should come first. I'm trying to help as many people as I can. If I get subscribers, that's a nice little bonus, but that's not my primary motivation here. And so that said, here we are. We got 2 minutes, so let's get into something real quick. I won't bother with the day in review. We don't have enough time for that right now. Although yesterday we did kind of respect the levels the way that we were supposed to when they broke. Okay, so quick look at what's going on here. Um, First of all, you can see that gamma is relatively thin. There's not a lot of positions here. Below 90, 85, all this kind of stuff is wide open. People own puts, not a lot of them. Nothing really sold here ahead of this. So could have a big down goes Fraser. Up on top, some sold calls, but again, not a lot. Easy to eat through. 64.15 top of the chop, 64.30 target on top of that. Then all this stuff is sold. All that said, there's a lot of event volatility priced into this. So what does that mean? That means that these levels, first of all, when the event volatility comes out, when the unknown becomes known, volatility will get repriced because of the change in IV, as well as any movement in the SPX. And those hedges will be put in, will be adjusted. Now, a few things will happen there. One of the main points I want to make is once the event vol comes in, the strength of the hedging, or the sharpness of the reactions, becomes sharper. Lower IV, less expected move, less fuzziness in the gamma levels. The sharper they are, the more predictive ability they have. It's the best way I could say it now. I did a write up that says it much better. Okay, so here we are, as you can see, initial adjustment, initial reaction is positive, 6,400, yay team. So here we have our initial hedging adjustment. Let's just look at VIX as a quick proxy for, okay, so here we have a big chunk of IV that came out of the chain. So part of the adjustment is that. The other part of the adjustment of what we have going on, hi flyer, so people showing up here. By the way, if you want to get on the stage and speak, or if anybody does, I can just put you on there and you can ask questions, whatever. This doesn't have to be a monologue. Okay, so anyway, so here we are at 6405. Now let's talk about this for a second. So whatever negative deltas we had in here for these, as an example, or even these, but let's just use the puts, which is more obvious. Okay, what happens? Think about this. First of all, we move away, so it's less negative delta, less shorts the market makers have to hold in reserve. Plus the IV crush, for lack of a better word. We saw how the IV came down, and we're not going to look at fixed strike volatility or all that fancy stuff. We know that IV came down, so again, that's less hedging demand. So a lot of this initial reaction was all this stuff got priced out. We chewed through this stuff, so now we have this below us to the extent that it's still going to be there. And so now we could say our first, okay, so we also see some more positions came in. We see the size of the bar shift. So now let's take a look again at this. Let's take a look at the chart again. All right, so we're stalling at 6,400. So still not much has changed. Quick peek of what I got going on here. So yesterday I bought a cheapy 10 wide fly over here. Centered at 6,400. Not rocket science, not based on anything, but whatever, for $80, whatever it was, you know. So, and we'll look at the expected move right now, what's priced in. So it's down to 31. There's still a fair amount of vol priced in according to this, says 20. I don't know how accurate that is, how quickly that gets priced in. CPI core climbs 3.1, estimate was 3.0. Year over year actual 2.7. Whatever those numbers mean, I don't care. It's none of my business. That's let the algos decide what it means. So 31 priced in right here, right now, assuming that's accurate. 31 puts us right to the 6430, same number that we have in the plan, puts us at the bottom 70-ish, kind of where we closed in this area, this magnet down area. And so it's shaping up not to be too crazy of a reaction, shaping us to be the same battle zones, battle lines we've been having, we're continuing to have. Okay. Now I'd like to go back to here and let's look at a little bit of different view. More and more I've been enjoying using this view, not this one, not this one, this one. What I like about this is it lets me look across time and down today at the same time, so I can just kind of see where the bodies are buried going forward and where they might have an influence on today. So for example, just catching my eye, 6420, not much going on today, but we have something going on here for 814. Now we could aggregate the gamma in the position tab up here in this one for a range, but that's a lot of clicking back and forth, and I might or might not do that, but it gives me just some ideas where things might happen. So 64.75, kind of where we closed-ish. As you can see, there's market makers short, so customers bought puts, we're going to just assume here at 64.75 today and tomorrow. So we have this big cluster here near the money. If IV comes out, which we know it has, if we move away from it, which we know we have, this kind of becomes, if anything, some kind of a floor and some sort of headwind, a tailwind rather. So that's nice to know. And 64.75, nice round number for us to wrap our brain around. We have this stuff down here, 6,300. I talk fast because I think fast. So you have to listen fast. So 6,300, 63. That's a joke from Pulp Fiction. If you saw Pulp Fiction, the wolf, when he comes to get rid of the body, when they accidentally shot somebody in the head and they have to clean the car and get rid of the body, the wolf, that was his comment. Okay, so this stuff down here is 6,300. Basically, the insurance policy lapsed. 60. Okay, and now on top we have this potential magnet, 6430. Customers long calls, 1,500 of them it looks like, and so that's. And then stall 6450 is going to still get hard to go through as of now. As of now, you never know. We have, why you never know? Because we have long calls up here. They've been buying the 6,500s, and we got 8,000 of them sitting here. We have 8,000 up at 64, 55 customer long, so they have to hedge that way. Now, we know that those are actually simplify SVOL fund, I believe it is. Um, Long calls is part of their strategy. It's in their, they put their positions in their, um, you can go to the Simplify website and like look at positions holdings, and they'll show you what options they have there. You know what's there. I'm not sure what they do with their secret sauce, but we know it's here, so we can't ignore it. Or I'm not ignoring it. You can ignore it if you want. Okay, so that's what's going on for today. And so the first, not the first question on traders' minds is, well, new all-time high? I don't know, why not? Maybe. So first thing that I'm penciling in my mind is 64, 35, 40 with 64.50. The other side of why not? I mean, we have all those long, long calls there, 8,000 of them sitting there for Friday. So it seems to be becoming if not when. Now, I'm not sure what else is going on, what the macro bros are saying about why this is so wonderful. The CPI, again, like I always say, I don't care. It's none of my business. Maybe later on I'll go back and read it and pretend I'm an economist and pontificate on social media on why it's a good thing or a bad thing, on what's going to happen in inflation in 3 months or 3 years or in 30 years and the economy. But that crap doesn't matter. I don't know about you. I figure if you're watching this, you're a trader and you want to know how to make money today, maybe Friday, maybe the end of the week, maybe into September. Other than that, our crystal balls get real cloudy. And so that's pretty much it. So, I'm going to have to rewrite my plan for the given reality. Okay, more used car sale. Okay, so there's all the little sub sections. Excuse me for the CPI report. So, I'm not sure what happens there. I'm looking on the side of my eye. Oh, I have some comments here. Lots of excitement about Ukraine. Well, the Ukraine war negotiations. Sure, why not? Ukraine war negotiations thrown in. We'll see how that happens. Um, Trump extended um, China's right to sell Taco Bell for another 90 days. Trump Taco, 90 days Taco Bell. Get it? It's a joke. Franchise. It's a joke. Okay. So that's another thing. Which, oh yeah, quick rant while I have a captive audience. So yesterday I saw, after the market closed, I think it was CNBC or one of these people published a little, oh, today the market did this, did that, went up, went down. And they said that Trump announced, or there was word that Trump was going to extend China's, um, the negotiations for 90 days, and that caused the market to go down. I think we all know that's bullshit. That's not why the market went down. And I noticed monkey see, monkey do. Yahoo Finance and here and Blue, all these, everybody just kind of jumped on that narrative that we went down because of that. I think we all know it's not true, and I tweeted that. That's not why we went down. We could argue other things, other reasons why we went down. That's certainly not it. And so I'm just saying price makes headlines, headlines and narratives. This was a headline, price did this, so they get mushed together with a correlation that has nothing to do with causation, just because they happened at around the same time. And so I'm done with that rant, just so I throw that in there. Rant over. And so there we go, all-time highs. Okay, I mean, that's clearly the next point in everybody's mind. Ukraine war, maybe they could end that. I mean, I think at this stage of the game, while people have to bluster and posture and all that kind of thing, Maybe everybody's just getting tired of this. Let's hope so. And so that's really it. I don't know how would I trade this. Now we have seen things like this turn around in reverse. We have seen a morning market reaction like this end up being down goes Fraser, and we end up down at 63.50. Not saying that'll happen, just saying on a CPI day and news headline day that can happen. Although generally, if this move isn't faded relatively quickly, I'm going to count on this. Am I going to sell iron condors today, which is what I usually do? Those of you who listen, who know me, know that. Heck no. CPI day is a no iron condor day for me, as is non-farm payroll day, etc. On occasion, I might sell a few if something is real clear, one side or something. Today, I'll look to scalp long, buy butterflies, set some stuff up for Friday or for next week. Maybe screw around with some individual names. Software got beat up the last few days, the SaaS stocks. Um, I mentioned this before. I'm pretty sure I tweeted it out or whatever. Palo Alto, there was a nice trade. There was a big trade that came in the other day when Palo Alto got beat up. PANW. Let's find it. And so 5,000 of the 180, 195 calls were bought for October when we were like pretty much at the local low when we were down here. So I followed that. I sold some puts. Um, Salesforce, let's just look at IGV because all those names have gotten killed. And so maybe with a little bullishness, where's IGV? See how IGV is looking like crap? Software names got a little bounce. This might be something tradable that you might look for today or not. Uh, Salesforce, another one that's gotten killed. Still no mercy. Still no mercy. And I was reading some explanation for why, but whatever. Let's open up Mentor Q just to get some levels on some of these. Hold on, what did I just do? Whatever I did, update. Okay, whatever. And I don't want to see the roadmap features. Make me too hard to see things. I guess so that when we click through things, we'll have an idea what some lines are. Uh, so again, for me, the cyber names got beat up, and Fortinet's another one. So I might look at some of those. IBM might be due for a turnaround. But the other thing, let's look at IWM. One default way to look at what's going on with breath, not Listerine breath, market breath. Nice pop. And those of you that follow me know that I've been kind of nibbling on this and have various structures, flies and sold puts, whatever. Just figuring every dog has its day. And when there's a lot of shorts in IWM, I've read numerous places, and you can look in the chain, you can see the puts. And so contrarian front run with the fly, good risk reward. Let's see what happens here. We kind of keep stalling right around here, just kind of TA-ish. We just kind of do that. You can kind of actually the lines make it hard to see what's going on. We just kind of keep stalling right around here. And so I might close it out because I've gone into them when we're down here, so it's kind of close to its destination for me. So we'll see. Maybe 25 we can get up here. All right. So with that little whatever, let's take a look at what our buddy SPX is doing, which is what we're all. Oh, let's take a quick look at Q's while we're in the neighborhood, and we'll go back to Q's all-time high, another shocker. RSP, well, it doesn't really get much action before the market opens anyway. So let's get back to SPX, which is, oh, let's look at UNH. That sector has been seeing a little bit of life lately. They beat those things to death. And in case anyone cares, I think no one probably does, I'm short a 240 put for September. Nice premium I got for it. I'm willing to take assignment 240 and wheel it or hold it. Not investment advice, just talking about me, not you. VIX tanking. So now VIX and VX at some point need to come together. All right, so it's interesting. Semis, what are they doing on this China noise? Semis are bouncing. Now let's go back to SPX one last time, and I'll do a rewritten note for my subscribers when the dust settles, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just like update them in chat. I'll get something out on Twitter. But I mean, I think it's clear right now. And there's going to be a lot of trading going on behind this. I don't know what was so wonderful about these numbers other than I see a comment. Good morning, Boomer. And I'll be doing something with Boomer Dan on Monday evening, and he'll send out the information however he does on YouTube or Twitter. I'll send it out. So you guys join me there. And so, like I said in my note about the event vol coming in and the hedging that is and the repricing, I don't know if there's any macro bros around that can rate cut odds will increase. Yeah, I think that I'm not an economist, whatever, and I think being an economist is akin to being a horoscope reader. Actually, I know some of the Vedic Indian horoscopes are much more accurate, surprisingly, than some economists that I know. But that said, I think the narrative, because that's what drives this rather than the numbers and the reality, is that the tariffs are a one-time effect. What we see is what we've got is what we're going to see. It's not going to be increasing every month, more and more. If anything, the tariffs are stabilizing and going to go down. So whatever that shock to the numbers are is basically baked in. And that's what the story is for now until it changes. The story could change tomorrow. We have two Fed governors that said that they wanted to cut in July. We have a new Trump appointee that's going in there, so he's going to vote to cut. We have this whole narrative shift with the labor market. So I think they're going to cut. Oh, balance that out with what, and I said this in my note, at 9 o'clock, I put out yesterday the cheat card of the Fed speakers this week. It's probably on Twitter. If not, it's on Substack somewhere. I put stuff all over the place. So you got to follow me everywhere because I'm not the most systematic in some areas. That's just what it is. Um, so we have Barkin, who wants modestly restrictive rates, quotes from his last speech. And we have Schmidt from Kansas, who's cautious on eating. Both of them in the morning session. We have Barkin at 10 at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Central Time, so 9 o'clock in the real world. So if anybody here has any more information about these Fed people and what they say and how it might sway the market, obviously they're Fed people, but I would think common sense tells me if a known hawk or a known cautious person says, you know what, I think based on what we see indicates that he's leaning more toward, he or she is leaning more toward cutting, well, then that would just lend credence to that narrative. Now, the cutting narrative will get whatever upside it gets until people start saying that that's going to cause inflation, whatever, economy is going to run too hot, whatever that narrative is. And those people will be out there too. You've heard them already. And so then we'll get dueling narratives. In the meantime, I'm looking at TNX, and the 10-year dropped and then spiked to 4.3 almost. It looks like now it's coming down, so I don't know. It's hard for me to tell. Let's see what the 10-year is doing. Kind of wobbling around here, but it looks like it's heading in this direction. Okay, so I must have seen this little spike on my other chart. And I was going back up. So now the cross asset people are having their party. Let's look at the dollar while we're in the neighborhood, looking for stuff to talk about. Oh, and let's look at gold. I know there's probably some futures people here. So let's look at, I should have gold here somewhere. Where's GC? I think this is the ETF, right? Yeah, this is the ETF. I'm just gonna have to use that as a proxy. I thought I had the gold. Oh, here they are. And Menthil Q does have some gamma levels for futures. I think they're pretty much one of the few that does. So what's going on here? Update the script. What happened? Oh, it doesn't show up for that one. Okay, it's probably on the. Uh, there it is. End of day. I'll be here. Good morning for all you gold bugs. I know I got some friends that trade gold. Here's some levels. These numbers really mean nothing to me. My history with trading gold is it always goes the opposite of what I expect. Whether it's I try TA, I try gamma, I try whatever, I can't do it good. Although I do good on the miners, either individual names or the basket. Those seem to act in a way that I can kind of understand, but I guess suck with gold. What can I say? So I don't trade it. Got my lumps enough times to know that, you know what, that's not my pitch. I don't have to swing at every pitch or participate in every argument I'm invited to. All right, so now we're starting to come off that move a little bit. 6,400 is still very much in play. Settling at 6,400 wouldn't be crazy either. So we'll see. We'll see. Good morning, Selena. Anyone have any insight? Maybe they want to copy and paste something from Twitter, or just like what the talking heads are saying. Because I don't have CNBC on, and I don't have my Twitter feed because I don't have. Oh yeah, we have a Fed head going to be pontificating in a minute. Hold on, let me just stop my screen share for a second. Let's do this while we're in the neighborhood. I want to put in some of the discount links that I have for you guys. If I could find them, because I lose shit all the time. Okay, here's a discount link for options depth. Oh, and somebody who subscribed to options depth through, I guess, seeing me, thought that he also gets me as part of options depth. And while I post stuff there, whatever, my daily plan, I pontificate there. What I have going on here is separate from them, but they're good buddies, et cetera, and I rely on them heavily. But I'm kind of my own separate thing, so to speak. Um, Same thing with Mentor Q. I have an association with them. You mean two different camera services? Yeah, they do different things, and it's a kind of a different association. And similarly with Gamma Edge, I like everybody. I like everybody. There's Mentor Q, and that's it for my affiliate links. All right, now that I did my marketing, I might as well, even though it's in there somewhere, might as well put my Substack in here as well. Okay, enough of my marketing. I really don't like doing it, but whatever. Let's get back to the business of helping each other make money. Okay, so now we're going to have a Fed person speaking, so we'll see what that does. Let's take a quick look at the chain. VIX new lows down 6 point whatever percent. I just want to see what's going on throughout the chain. 40 for Wednesday. Wednesday, yeah. Thursday, PPI. No real big jump between PPI and IV and a normal day. 6,500 today? No way. We're 100 points away. No. I would like to see 6,400 hold, or new all-time high 6,427 would be a bridge too far. Well, not a bridge too far, but right now the expected move is 28, call it 30. So 30 from '06 puts us over here at the store reverse line. So that hasn't really changed. That hasn't really changed. What's changed is the downside maybe puts us down here. But again, it's CPI day, so I'm not going to mess with these people and sell spreads. Maybe a little later on in the day, maybe by 10, 11 o'clock, maybe. I'd rather sell them for tomorrow and give myself some room and flexibility. So let's play that game for a second. What might I do for tomorrow? Or maybe I'll put in a small one for government work. And I don't really, I'd want to go down here somewhere. But I don't want to do it blind, just looking at Delta and looking at a number. Well, so then how would you do it, Doc? Good question. How I would do it is let's take a look what's in the chain for tomorrow. Okay, 62.10. Well, if I can get anything below 62.10, that would be wonderful, but I'm sure there's no juice there. 63.50, too close. I'm looking for the greens. 62.30. All right, maybe. Let's see if there's any juice in that neighborhood. 62.30, no juice. So to get juice, I need to be 62.80. Okay. And hold on, let me take this. It's my attorney. I'll be right back. Let me mute this. Hold on. Okay. I'm buying the property next door to mine. It's a smallish property compared to mine. Mine's like, well, it's all farmland, anything. So it's actually just a normal home on 1 acre rather than a big ass farm. That's right next door. So it'll be a good place for kids, future kids, grandkids, whatever, friends to come and stay. Airbnb property is cheap up here. I'd rather put the money diversify and get some of my assets out of the market and buy a piece of land next door to me. And so the closing is going to be in a week or two. Just wanted to call them to find out what was going to happen. So anyway, not that anyone gives a crap. Okay, 62.65. So let's see what's going on there. Whoops. I kind of like to let people know who I am because, I mean, if you're trusting me with whatever, okay, so we really don't have any, it's hard for me to just sell something just to sell it. Same thing up on top. So we got we got this thing up here. So I don't really see anything that I like. I think I would rather just add to Friday, and Friday below 6,200. Well, we got this over here. So I would add to Friday below 6,200 outside the expected move. I'll probably look to do that. I have a few Fridays. Let's see what I got here for Friday. Just a few, nothing big. Try to build up this position here for Friday. Up $300, whatever. 61.55 on the put side. 65.30 on the call side. Those are profitable too. So I'll look to kind of fill out in here and make it more than just where I have 7 on the put side and 4 on the call side. So it's a small position. It's just small position there. Okay, so I'll probably look to fill this out. And that's it. So I don't know. Anybody see any news on what the Fed Barkin, whoever is talking, not Barkin, who's talking? Yeah, it's Barkin, right? Thomas Barkin, modestly restrictive. Anyone see any news on what he said? I see, I'm getting a text over here. The goats are going to love having more land to roam. They got plenty of land already. There's actually like a tree stand between this property and that one, so they probably won't go through the ravine, whatever. But it is contiguous. That's in the back. In the front, that driveway and my driveway is just a lawn. So, but the goats don't go out on the front lawn that much, which is probably a good thing because they'll be jumping on the car and they'll be crossing the road to get to the other side, like the chicken. So they stay in the back. But I did think that maybe if I could make a pathway through the back to the back of that property, that might be interesting. All right, so now we're back down to 6,400. I don't know if Barkin said something, but I'm going to jump off now and see what's going on. And if you follow me on Twitter, whatever, I'll put some stuff out on Substack. Similarly, either a post or a note, and my subscribers will be hearing and seeing what I babble about. And we have feedback, we have interplay. And let me just check one last thing. Shout out to Valahulatility, I'm not sure how he even pronounces it, who helps us with real-time options trades. And I'm going to take a look and see if he has anything that he put in, because he also works a day job, unfortunately. So he can't. Okay, we have somebody else. Morning flows. Calls coming in at 64.30. Market maker short there. 35 delta range. Some of that may have been rolled. Okay. Not seeing any YOLO call flow. Small position at 64.50. My buddy market literate just picking up the slack. Seems like some positions have been rolled up to 64.35 short calls. Okay. All right. So we'll see. So seems like there's been some rolling. We'll take a last look at options depth, and then I'm going to go listen to Vol 6. It'll be easier to see the rolls over here, I guess. I can't really see them here, but he's seeing the real-time data, so he can see them better than me. Need to extend this real quick. 64.70. So here's where customers are short. This is the customer side. I don't know. I wouldn't want to be short these 63.80 calls. It might have been part of a strangle. They might have been short the 63. No, the long the 63.80 puts. Whoops. Somebody's insurance policy just lapsed. They bought the 63.80 puts and sold the 63.80 calls. Oh well. Insurance policy canceled. Unless we go down there, you never know. But to make that insurance policy pay, we have to go down there. Okay. 20 points, maybe not. Maybe that insurance policy will pay off after all. Okay, thank you all for listening and trade safe, especially on CPI day. Go to the beach or to the park. Play with your dogs or your goats or your kids or go have coffee with a friend. Okay, I'm done. See ya.